Alright, here we have Gator Pit of Texas. My name is Rich, I'm the owner. We've got a super smoker, 1/4 inch wall, 24 inch diameter, 60 inches on the double door main chamber. We have a 1/4 wall, 24 inch diameter, about 24 inch firebox. This pit is our super smoker on our website. You'll see it listed, full description, along with pricing and options to it. Here we have a double door. As you can see here, full length front shelf, all steel angle framed. We have an adjustable 24 inch tall smokestack. It's got an adjustable damper up top, opens and closes and goes anywhere in between. We've got our Gator Pit stainless steel logo, goes on the stack. Here we have a access door on this model. There's a charcoal ability in there. There's a slide out 1/4 inch thick expanded metal charcoal grate that's reinforced with 1/4 inch flat bar. You can see the wall thickness here. That adds longevity to these charcoal grates under intense heat. Makes them last a lot longer. We have a 1 inch flange or lip in here that keeps your ashes if you choose to grill in here. Also keeps your juices in here, and the juices would actually drain out of this threaded cap that's removable for your grease. To drain out, just put your little bucket down there, catch your juices, or you can add our 2 inch ball valve to it, which is easily open and closes the grease trap or grease drain. Here you've got our doors are 1/4 inch thick steel. You can see here they're flanged all the way around to keep the heat and smoke in so they don't leak smoke, minimize any leakage, any smoke or heat loss. We have our custom made stainless steel cool touch handles. As you see here, these handles don't rot, rust, you won't replace them. We have our Gator Pit's heavy duty hinges that we make here in our shop. These hinges won't break off over the years of use. They'll be here, made to last. Again, our flanging all the way around, nice and tight on these doors. We have a 1/2 inch rod, which is your carry or push handle, push and pull handle. Here, makes it easy to roll these big old pits around. We've got fully flanged doors. As you can see here, these welds on the flanges are all 4 sides of my doors. They go all the way around. All 4 sides, including the top, is flanged as well. Again, nice and tight. We don't stitch weld them like a lot of competitors do or manufacturers do. They'll just put little stitches here. Cuts their labor time down, cuts the shop cost down. It also, over time, if you don't weld them full, can cause warpage and leakage. You get heat and smoke loss out of your flanging. We fully weld it. You notice there aren't any gaps in my doors. Doors are nice and tight. They don't get any tighter than this. You can't even get a fingernail up under there. And they're nice and tight. If you look here, all the way down, you don't see them gapped. Again, Gator Pit's pits are extremely tight, as tight as you can make them. On our door seams, our door lids, you have heavy duty door stops in the back. The top seams are fully flanged all the way down to the top. I keep repeating that because a lot of the manufacturers and pit builders, they'll run a 1/2 inch rod all the way across for their handles, or rather for their hinges, and all that 1/2 inch rod does is cover up the door seam because they don't flange it, so you don't see it and you don't realize that there's an 1/8 inch gap right there at the top until you fire your pit up and you see it starting to leak smoke. You have an all steel angle frame front shelf. We don't use round bar. We actually frame them out in 1 inch angles that you see here. We 45 the corners. We buff out the welds, nice, clean, and smooth. Again, custom made. You don't get this on regular old store-bought pits, and a lot of your manufacturers that are in this business on building pits don't go to the extremes of clean cuts, clean welds. Much to us buffing them out with sanding disc. This shelf goes all the way down, wraps over the firebox. I'll do that because you're going to get heat coming off the top of that firebox. You can use that to warm up your beans, your sauce, foil pan of water, or even foil pan to cook meat. A little broth in there, chicken or beef, in the foil pan with foil on top will keep your meat warm. You can serve right off your pit. Excuse me. We have a air intake vents on these 24 inch pits. You'll get dual air intake vents. These vents are easy to operate. Counterclockwise opens them up, counterclockwise closes them off. We use zinc bolts so you don't have to worry about rusting issues. Again, you've got the stainless steel handles on the firebox. These don't get hot, so you don't have to worry about burning your hand or having to use something to open up your door on your firebox to add more wood to it or charcoal over the cook. Again, your heavy duty stainless steel handles, your heavy hinges, your fully flanged door, all the way around. Here on your firebox, 1/4 inch thick on the door with your flanging, makes it nice and tight. You've got an extremely heavy duty charcoal wood grate. It's framed out in angles. It's 1/4 inch thick expanded metal, reinforced in the middle there that you see. Again, this is 1/4 inch thick steel expanded metal. You can see the wall thickness there. Heavy, heavy stuff. Again, you don't get that at store-bought pits. You probably won't find that in a lot of the people that make pits. You've got your log rack system or your leg system. 2x2 angles. We use heavy angle, framing out your expanded metal for wood storage. Again, 2x2 angles all the way around. A lot of competitors will use a 1 inch or 1.5 inch for your vertical legs, and then on the log rack itself they'll use a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch angle, which will sag. It'll give under weight. It's not going to last. These won't sag. You can fill this up with logs of wood, and you're not going to worry about your log rack bending or bowing on you under the stress of weight. Excuse me. We have our heavy 5-inch casters. These are all-weather commercial casters. They don't rot, crack, break, peel. They won't discolor under UVs. These are made to be outside. They're made to get wet. They're made to get hot. They're made to get cold. They're going to last you. They have greasable zerks on them, so you can grease your bearings. You can see here, little grease zerks. Grease your bearings on them. Again, they have greasable bearings on the swivels up top. Your ridges have grease zerks on them as well. You have your grease drain down there I was telling you about. Put a ball valve on it if you want to, or you can order it when you order your Gator pit. We can install the ball valves. Looking inside this pit, again, we flange the inside as well as the outside of the pits, making it nice and tight all the way around. We put flanging at the top as well, so when this door closes, you not only have the exterior flanging on the outside seam, you also have an interior flange. Helps make it nice and tight. It actually goes under and laps under the door seam, in addition to the outside external flange. Nice and tight. This pit model, the Super Smoker's got sliding food trays standard, as you see there. Makes it easy to access your meat, pull your meat out to you, do what you need to do to it, basting, rotating it, adding it, taking it off. Makes it extremely easy to access the meat in the bottom shelf as opposed to having to reach into the shelf. Extremely easy. If you want to close your door right now and work your meat, you can. When you're done, slide it back in. Again, nice clean cuts. Look at the edges on here. They're not jagged. They're not rough cuts. They're nice, clean, smooth cuts. Good, smooth finish. That's what you get from Gator Pit. You don't get jagged welds, pitted welds, splotchy welds. All of our cuts are clean. They're smooth. Just like you see here in the video. Every pit comes out of my shop looks just like this on the door lines. Nice and clean. A lot of pits you will not see that. They're going to cut it with a torch. They're not even going to put a grinder on it. They're not going to buff it out. They're not going to smooth it out. The cuts are jagged. Gator Pit, we don't do that. We put a lot of attention to detail in our pits. Not only do we make them cook great, but we want them to look great as well. Again, look at the door flanging. There's no gap. You don't see a gap between the door flange of the door and the pit barrel itself here. Look at the bottom. That's the hardest part for anyone to ever get nice and tight. There's not even a gap there. You can't even get a fingernail up under there. It's so tight. Again, looking at the other side, it's the same. Sliding food trays up top. Lower sliding food tray. Full size heat deflector. It's 1/4 inch thick. It comes in about 8 inches into the pit. Cuts down that hot spot that's typical in offsets. Pointing out again, a lot of customers, or not customers, competitors don't put that in there. If they do, they're for the most part inadequate because they only run a little piece of metal in there to look like a deflector plate or deflector shield. But it really does, it's not functional, it doesn't work. It's inadequate in size and length. We put a full size deflector in there to cut that hot spot down. So now you're able to use the entire pit to cook on and not have to put your meat here, down here. Because anything you put over here typically would burn. Gator pits are not going to do that. Again, your wraparound shelf, put your pot of beans, sauce, full pan of cooked meat up there, serve it hot. It's a beautiful pit. Custom quality that only Gator Pit's known for. These pits don't leave the shop until I, Rich, the owner, look at these pits. I inspect every one of them before they go out. What you're seeing me do right now to this pit to shoot this video is what I do to every pit before it goes out. Not shooting the video, that is, but actually inspecting these pits. I go through the inside of them and I go through the outside of them and I walk around and I look at everything that's in them. And I get up under them and look at them as well. We do that to ensure quality of our products. Last thing I want is for a customer to get my pit and have an issue with it. So the way that we minimize that is I inspect them myself. Call Gator Pit. You'll speak with me. I don't have any salesmen. I handle all sales and all calls myself. Give me a call. I'll be happy to speak with you about your Gator Pit. This pit is the Super Smoker on my website. You can pull it up, gatorpit.net. You'll get full pricing, full description, and options and features that you can add to this model. Thank you.